Dear Evan Hansen really, really knocked our heads off. The actor that plays Evan Hansen just blew us away. I want to talk to him. You want to talk to him?
Yes.
Yeah. Please welcome to the show, Ben Platt.
Hello.
Yay, Ben Platt. Hello, everyone. Hi.
How are you?
Thanks for coming in.
I love how
Thanks
he's
for having me.
advertising the name of the show on his hat.
You have to.
Can't waste a moment. Can't waste a moment. We just went on sale yesterday, so
That's good.
got to get those tickets sold. How you guys doing?
You were okay. So we're just talking about, the night that Bethany and I went to see Dear Evan Hansen, we were in the front row.
Ooh.
And I know there's lights. You can't really see the
Probably
audience.
got you with lots of fluids.
There is a lot of spit going on. And of course, we all spit when we talk.
Certainly.
But when you're in the lighting on a stage, you see it. You see the spray.
Yes.
You
yes.
sprayed all of us.
I do. Well, there's a lot of words, and I'm on there the whole time, so I don't really have time to collect my saliva, so it all ends up on the audience.
On us.
And you spend like roughly half of the show sobbing. So there's just like
There's tears and spit.
It's just
It's the grossest show ever.
Yeah, exactly. It's just disgusting. No.
Without giving too much away,
Sure.
Ben's character, Evan, is this extremely socially awkward kid
Yes.
who's on meds, just trying to get
Yes.
through a day at school.
Very isolated, a lot of trouble connecting, a lot of trouble reaching out, especially, again, in this hyperconnective social media world where everybody is sharing their thoughts instantaneously and judging their thoughts instantaneously. For him, he would share, if it was up to him, nothing with anyone. And the only part of the plot that I'm allowed to give away is that essentially Evan finds himself in the situation where he's fabricated this fake friendship with a boy in his class who's passed away, and through this fake friendship becomes close with the boy's grieving parents and the boy's sister, and sort of starts to belong to their family and to open up in a way that he never has and to find a new confidence and be able to speak his mind and share his feelings, although it's all sort of predicated on this lie of this friendship. And so it's kind of the dichotomy of figuring out, is that worth it? Is the healing worth it? Is the feeling accepted worth it? If it's all not based on truth.
You've rehearsed that
Yeah, my
description,
gosh,
did you not?
that was so perfect.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, so we watched the show. We loved it.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for
then
coming.
we were going outside, and Beth, of course, there's a lady behind me. She was like this. And I heard her at one point.
But that makes him excited. Look,
I
that's
know
what he
you're all
wants.
excited. I mean,
hey.
it's a very moving story.
Thank you.
But at one point, I heard her speak to the person with her. She said, "You don't understand. You don't get it, do you?" I'm like, "We all get it, lady." But I mean, you moved all of us. So when we left the theater, we went to get into the car to come back downtown.
Sure.
And Bethany says, "Would you mind terribly if I just walk home? I
You
really
just needed a moment?
I needed a moment.
No, her words were, "I need to collect my thoughts." I mean, get
I
it.
did.
I said, "Get your ass in the car."
I walked all the way home from the theater down to downtown because
That's a beautiful thing.
it was.
Oh, she's nuts. the way that you become this character, and this is like any actor, their goal is to make you just totally forget that they are an actor, and you did that.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure you've been asked this question a million times. How much of you is in this anxiety-ridden kid?
I mean,
are you nuts a little bit?
A little bit. I think we all are a bit. I've struggled with anxiety and been medicated in the past for it, and so I think it was a very easy character to find my way into. I would say that the physical tics and the things that sort of define him in a physical way aren't very much me. I've kind of adapted some of them, unfortunately, but those didn't originate with me. But in terms of the way, because I've been with it since the beginning of the development,
right.
In terms of the comedic rhythm and the way that the songs are written, it's all very much sort of written tailored to me as far as what I look to do and what I'm capable of.
Well, you really, well, wait till you see this. And everyone listening will eventually see Dear Evan Hansen. You will see what we're talking about. And by the way, I didn't mean to imply that people are nuts. So you've never been on screen before Pitch Perfect?
Never in my life.
And look at what happened.
Wow.
Pitch Perfect, I don't want to call it a cult classic because that really doesn't give it the credibility it deserves, but it has such a following.
It does.
With
It's pretty
Pitch Perfect
crazy.
3 on the way in like next year. I mean, are you a part of that as well?
I have no idea as of now.
Okay. I call that negotiation. What is it about being on a stage? I don't even have to follow up after that. What is it about being on a stage and performing
I think that
for an audience?
It's a few things. I think when you're in a show, you have so much control over your performance. You have full sort of reign. I think in a film, you know, you can do what you do on the day, but it's up to the editor, the director, the way you're being shot, the takes that they're choosing. Your performance kind of gets curated for you. Whereas on stage, you're given lots of advice by the director, and you know where you're supposed to stand and what you're supposed to wear. But at the end of the day, when you go out there, it's you doing the performance, and it's yours to own and to realize. And also, you get to live the story in order completely every night, which is incredibly fulfilling. It's tough to do a film where you're sort of leaving pieces of the puzzle out of order once and then they're gone forever. I love the feeling of knowing my whole journey and being able to do it from beginning to end.
As an actor, and you're called upon to have this extremely deep, cutting storyline, and this character, it just goes through these crazy emotional moments in this play. I mean, how do you draw? Where do you find that emotion? Because your character is a wreck on stage.
Yeah.
So I'll automatically assume that you are somewhat a wreck while you're doing the show.
It's funny you say that. People, when I meet them afterwards, sort of expect me to be bereft and
they want to hug you. Poor guy.
They're like, "What happened to you in your childhood?" And I'm like, "I'm actually okay. I'm good." No, but I think it's a combination. Ben Platt and Justin Paul and Stephen Levinson, who wrote the book, have written such an honest feeling story to me that as long as I'm, you know, being fully present and going along with the ride, the journey kind of does the work for me and kind of takes me there, especially now because I'm sort of so familiar with it. As far as like bringing up the emotion, it's kind of my one chance to think about all of the things that I don't let weigh me down every day and sort of use them all in one moment and release them on stage and then not have to worry about them in life in a sense.
So, in all your years of Broadway,
yes,
has there ever been like a snafu on stage? And how did you handle it? You know, like Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, and all sorts of crazy stuff happened.
Sure.
Have you ever fallen from a rafter?
While dressed as Spider-Man?
No falling yet. The only thing I can think of is in Book of Mormon, my big Act 1 finale number is called Man Up. If anyone has seen it, it's Elder Cunningham's like this loser, and then he finally kind of comes out of his shell in the big Act 1 finale where it's like, I'm going to save the day, and it becomes a rock song. At the very start of the song, I do this like big knee slide down to the front of the stage, and my pants ripped like from my crotch to the back of my ass, just like fully open. So, and then I had a whole dance number to do without going off stage. So I was like, I better just embrace this and just like give my tidy whities to the world. And
they're a gift.
Did anyone notice?
I mean, probably. But
I mean, that's got to be fun to have something like that happen.
It is, especially
and not be worried about it.
Book of Mormon, where it's such a freeing, fun place. I mean, if anything happened like that in Evan Hansen, I would probably like have a small panic attack. But like, because it was in such a broad comedy, you can just go with the flow.
Did you do that? You like your worst critic? You listen because I see your face when we play things.
Hypercritical.
Yeah.
We just recorded "Waving Through Window," which is our single for Dear Evan Hansen, and speak of the devil.
Yeah.
And when I heard it, I was just like word for word listening so hypercritically, and at the end, I realized I hadn't even listened to the song because I was like worrying so much about each individual note. And they were like, "It sounds great. Calm down."
You're so fantastic. Thanks, man. So the soundtrack's available. Dear Evan Hansen. If you want to do a little homework before you see the play.
So far, just this song is out, so because we didn't want to give too much away. But this is on dearevanhansen.com. You can listen while you buy your tickets.
Thank you for coming in today. Ben Platt.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, you guys.